Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. It's morning for me. Just wanted to try this. We're going to do a screencast and we're going to learn about Alexander Hamilton today. So follow along with me as we go through these slides, and you will have some questions afterwards. So I would strongly suggest that you take notes as we go along with a piece of paper and a pen next to you. First thing we're going to do is watch a short video about Alexander Hamilton. So here we go.
By night's end, this treasure, the Tony Award, is widely expected to belong to Hamilton, the musical based on his life story. Mo Rocca tells us all about the most talked about show on Broadway.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
When we first met Lin-Manuel Miranda, Hamilton, the musical he wrote and stars in, was still off-Broadway at New York's Public Theater. Now it's a smash on Broadway, winner of a Grammy and a Pulitzer, and nominated for a record-breaking 16 Tony Awards.
What's your name, man?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It's no exaggeration to say it's a cultural phenomenon.
Talk less.
What?
Smile more. Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for.
The show tells the story of Hamilton's life and death at the hand of Vice President Aaron Burr, played by Leslie Odom Jr., and it's put to music that's as energetic as the man and the times he lived through.
We take it as a given that hip-hop music is the music of the revolution.
Take the bullets out your gun. The bullets out your gun. We move undercover and we move as one. Through the night we have one shot to live another day. We cannot let a stray gunshot give us away.
Is that because of the energy?
It's because of the energy. It's because the hip-hop narrative is of writing your way out of your circumstance. I joked to someone else, I think, all my favorite hip-hop songs are really good musical theater I want songs.
I want to get someplace else.
I want to get somewhere else. I want to get my corner of the sky.
Born out of wedlock in the Caribbean and abandoned by his father, Hamilton was just 22 when he served as General Washington's aide-de-camp during the Revolutionary War, and 34 when he became the country's first Secretary of the Treasury.
I think that this is a classic immigrant story in terms of someone recognizing the opportunities in this brand new, turbulent, wide open society.
Ron Chernow wrote the biography that inspired Miranda. He's kind of the ultimate immigrant.
He's the ultimate immigrant, and he's the original immigrant. I dare say he made the greatest contribution of any immigrant in the history of the United States.
Monsieur Hamilton. Monsieur Lafayette. In command where you belong. Now you say no sweat. We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run. Immigrants, we get the job done.
Miranda's own parents came to New York from Puerto Rico.
You know, my father came here at the same age as Hamilton. He'd already graduated college by 18, and he came with a full ride for NYU's postdoc psychology program. Didn't speak English, and learned it here while he was studying. And writing this story has helped me understand him.
Much has been made of the fact that the cast neither sounds nor looks like the Founding Fathers.
This is the story of America then, told by America now. It looks like America now.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Work!
Philippa Sue plays Hamilton's wife, Eliza Schuyler. Eliza's sister, Angelica, is played by Renee Elise Goldsberry.
My father, I told him that I was doing this, and he was like, who are you playing? And I said, Angelica Schuyler. And then a couple days later, he was like, well, how are you playing Angelica Schuyler? Did a little research, and I'm a little confused.
This was a time when the political could get extremely personal. Here's Hamilton, who favored more federal power, debating Daveed Diggs's Thomas Jefferson, who favored states' rights.
Oh, but Hamilton forgets. His plan would have the government assume states' debts. Now place your bets as to who that benefits. The very seat of government where Hamilton sits. Not true.
So it makes perfect sense that Hamilton and Jefferson are arguing about the role of the federal government. in the form of a rap
Yeah, 60
smackdown.
seconds for Jefferson, 60 seconds for Hamilton.
We assume the debts the union gets, a new line of credit, a financial diuretic. How do you not get it? If we're aggressive and competitive, the union gets a boost. You'd rather give it a sedative?
Cabinet response determines the winner.
After he was slain by Aaron Burr in their 1804 duel,
He aims his pistol at the sky.
Alexander Hamilton was mourned as a hero.
History has its eyes on you.
His life's journey as improbable as the musical written about him.
Throwing away my shot.
The way I hold a $10 bill is different now because, like, that's my dude.
What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton.
Thanks for listening to that. That was pretty interesting. Let's spend a little bit of time learning about who Alexander Hamilton was. And the first slide tells you that he was born in the Caribbean island of Nevis in about 1755. And he later moved to St. Croix, which is in the Virgin Islands. He was orphaned in 1768, so when he was about 13, after his father abandoned the family and his mother died. He was having a tough time as an orphan, but he was discovered. He rose to the top and wrote an essay that impressed community leaders who collected a fund to send them to America. Some of you guys might be interested in what happened to him after he was orphaned. He just was known to be a really bright boy, and he took a job at a small company that taught him a lot about commerce and trade. He was very talented. He spoke both English and French, and he impressed the people above him with his hard work and his attention to detail. He also could use both hands, which served him. He was ambidextrous. He could write with his left and his right hands, which served him well when he was in Washington's, when he was an aide to General Washington during the Revolutionary War, because he could write orders with both hands at the same time. They didn't have copiers back then, so he was able to do that very, very quickly. One thing I also wanted to remark on was that in the Caribbean at the time, it was heavy in the slave trade, if you remember what we learned about. And Hamilton saw how prominent it was in Caribbean society, and he witnessed the horrors growing up. And in later life, he became heavily against slavery, which was known as abolitionism. And that was what the essay that he wrote that impressed the people and the community to go to America. I'm going to show you a quick map of where he was born. He was born in the island of Nevis, which is located right here. And then he went to St. Croix. So the Caribbean was where he was located. Moving along, Alexander Hamilton arrived in America at 17 years of age. And Hamilton, when he arrived here, he first studied in New Jersey at Princeton University, which was then known as King's College, and he completed 3 years of study in just a year. He then went to Columbia University and studied even more there. He quickly joined the Patriots' cause and wrote essays against the Loyalist supporters. We're now going to watch a quick video of Alexander Hamilton. So watch and enjoy.
How does an orphan render Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by providence impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. By 14, they placed him in charge of a trading charter.
And every day while slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the waves, he struggled and kept his guard up. Inside he was longing for something to be a part of. The brother was ready to beg, steal, borrow, or barter.
Then a hurricane came, devastation reigned. A man saw his future dripping down the drain. Put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain, and he wrote his first refrain, a testament to his pain. Well, the word got around, they said this kid is insane, man. Took a book collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. There's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait, just you wait.
When he was 10, his father split, full of it, debt-ridden. 2 years later, see Alex and his mother bedridden, half dead, sitting in their own sick, the scent thick. And Alex got better, but his mother went whack.
Moved in with a cousin, the cousin committed suicide. Left him with nothing but ruined pride. Something new inside a voice saying, Alex, you gotta think for yourself. He started retreating and reading every treatise on the shelf. If there would have been nothing left to do for someone less astute, he would have been dead, destitute, without a cent or restitution. Started working for his late mother's landlord, trading sugar cane and rum and all the things he can't afford to sell them all. Every book he can get his hands on, planning for the future. See him now as he stands on the bow of a ship, headed for a new land. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, you can just do man. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, just you wait. Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton.
You're waiting in the wings for you.
Waiting in the wings.
You never got down, you never learned to take your time. Oh, Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton.
When America sings for you.
Will they know what you overcame? Will they know you belong again? We'll never be the same. The ship is in the harbor now. See if you can spot him. Another immigrant coming up from the bottom. His enemies destroyed his rep. America forgot him. We fought with him. Me, I died for him. Me, I trusted him.
Me, I loved him.
And me, I'm the fool that shot him.
There's a million things I haven't done, but just in the way.
What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton.
So pretty cool. We're going to watch a couple more songs from this over the next couple of days as you learn about the life of Alexander Hamilton. So that was a great first song from the musical. We're now going to talk a little bit about Alexander Hamilton's life. As you can see, he was in the Revolutionary War, and I think I've talked to you guys about that. And those of you guys who did the Battle of Yorktown, you all learned a lot about Alexander Hamilton and what a brave soldier he was there. But to back up a little bit, he joined a volunteer militia called the Hearts of Oak, and he was recognized by his men as a leader, and they elected him to be captain of an artillery, which, as you know, is the heavy cannons that generally begin a battle. And he was also noticed by George Washington. As I mentioned earlier, he was ambidextrous, so he was able to send out orders using both of his hands. And Washington recognized Hamilton's brilliance and signed him up to be a chief de camp, aide de camp, which is one of his main military helpers. And Hamilton then commanded a battalion that secured the victory. If you remember, Yorktown was the last battle of the Revolutionary War, and Alexander Hamilton played a huge role in that, where he and his men captured 21 of the battery's 24 guns, and they defeated the British there, and that was the battle that ended up winning the Revolutionary War for the Patriots. So we're going to stop there, and you can close this out. Thanks for watching. And then there'll be a short quiz, which is in a Microsoft form that is attached to this document, and we will pick it up with the next part for next week. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.